Greetings, I'm Mark with Unlimited Story, unlimited-story.com, a channel dedicated to writing, world building, marketing, most importantly, getting things done. If you want to support this channel, just search Unlimited Story on Kindle or Kindle Vella. That's me. It's also in the description below. In this video, I am going to be covering, what am I doing tonight? Into the Beyond, Fun and Spooky and Quirky by Paul Keyes. And here's the description. Vibe. Stranger things meet Slenderman. The Beyond exists outside of time. Operation Save Jerry, the goat, is a go. When Steph shows up on Channie's doorstep wishing to travel back in time to save a cherished pet, neither one of the estranged friends foresees the difficulties that lie ahead. They agree to contact the impish Mr. Gray and use his time-traversing portals to revisit the summer camp of their early teen years. Their goal is simple: save Jerry, the goat, from being devoured by Blood Sue. Alright. Time travel, magic, paranormal, fantasy, horror, creature horror, and supernatural. Interesting little graphic here. A lot of shadows, and I kind of see like this weird skinny dude behind some trees. Little dragon. I don't see a goat. Curious about that. So, I guess let's get started. I have just finished reading the first 3 of Into the Beyond. And according to the author notes, this is actually part of a much larger world or more literature that's been written. So I guess if you look up Paul Keyes, you'll find more information about it. So what actually happens in this? Well, it opens up with a little girl and her parents. And they're driving in a car, and car accident. And main character wakes up. That's a flashback, which kind of sucks. I was really hoping to get attached to these characters. I liked them. I found them relatable. I understood them. They were, just really simple. And nope, they gone. So on to what is actually happening in the real world, right? She goes over by her girl buddy, who's staring out into the night woods or whatever. They're in this like retreat area. And, hey, Slenderman type creature. That's not terrifying at all. And to make it even creepier, Channie gets possessed and she starts talking about, I don't even remember, basically that these kids are important in some way, shape, or form. All right, next chapter. Like these actually are going pretty quick. They're trying to explain to their other friends, like, hey, these terrible things did happen. And people are like, yeah, I bet, whatever. Kids in their imagination. The boys are playing pranks on you, whatever. So just gonna brush that under the table. No, like, real investigation. So either way, blah, 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 moving ahead. They meet up with this girl, Steph, who's the only character of these girls that I have any real knowledge of, because she's the one who's actually, I don't know, she's the one who's doing stuff. She is like tough. And she's got Jerry, that, I don't know, pretty cool goat. He seems cool. He doesn't do anything overly obnoxious. So there is Steph and her goat. And they get into a fight because she wants that goat to be the mascot of their cabin. Don't know what that's all about, but she wants it to be just the same. So there's a fight. And moving on, like I said, this is going really quick. And I actually really appreciate that because, specifically the way it's set up in Kindle Vella, you have your first 3, and you really want to be able to give your readers like a good taste of what this book is supposed to be about in your first 3. And I felt like I really got that. Like I feel like I really got that experience in these first 3 sections, because they talk about time travel, they talk about paranormal, creatures, horror, that kind of stuff. All of that I got in the first 3. So I will feel like if I keep reading, I just like, oh, it's just going to be more of this, which is great. So here we go. Steph shows up, talks to this Channie girl, and is like, yo, we need to get Jerry back. Now Jerry has been gone a while, so they're going to need to do some time travel. How are they going to do that? Well, they're going to talk to Dr. Gray, which is the same guy who possessed Channie before. Apparently they're friends now. I don't know. I guess I don't need someone to fill in the gaps, but I guess I'd like to know. But it's also going to slow down the story, so whatever. Anyway, they're all BFFs, and they're like, yo, we got to save this goat. And he's like, all right, if that's what you want to do. And of course I'm like, this kind of all-knowing, oh, he's a demon, might I add. Actually, everything seems to be some type of demon. But they actually do a pretty good point, at least with the evil side of demons. They don't say that they're like specifically evil. It's just that that's in their nature. You know, they get hungry and whatever, and they're these other ones are terrifying. I'll get into that in just a second. Now, Dr. Gray's like, yo, let's do this. And they gave him cookies, so he's like, fine. So makes a portal. They go to this like cool like cabin, which appears to be like some type of hub. They just go there to chill for like a few seconds before they jump into the other dimension. Interesting little little thing. They have to breathe out when they time travel, otherwise they puke. So I guess pro tip, if you guys are ever jumping through these rifts, you gotta breathe out or you're chuffing on the other side. So anyway, they go to the time specific to saving Jerry. They go over there. Oh, and they also have bags of goat meat because apparently there's like an alchemy thing. There's like equivalent exchange or something like that. So they build a fake Jerry, which is they use a hoodie, they use a garbage bag, some ketchup, and some chopped up goat meat, like stew style. Whatever, we're gonna keep going. So they get all that done. They swap out Jerry for the bag of dead stuff, and then a new creature comes, and it's called a ghast. And man, these things were pretty terrifying. At least the way I'm thinking of it. There wasn't like a ton of description, like, oh, okay, their skin's this color, this is this color, you know, whatever. It was more. What actually is ultra terrifying about them is the sound they make, because they make the sound of little kids like crying. Okay, so instead of like, I don't want to say growling or so, apparently that is how they lure people to their death. You know, they just make little baby sounds or something, and that really bothers me. That actually will bother me a little bit. Like that's bothersome. So whatever the case, these things are the size of a dog, so they're running away. They got to get away from this thing so they can escape back to their dimension, and it's chasing them, and it flies down, swoops. They end up killing it with like a broomstick. So apparently they're not that tough, but apparently there's also multiple of them. So long story short, they escape. Nobody dies. Great. And Jerry survives. Spoiler alert, Jerry survives, which is great because I'm sure it has some long lasting effect that's going to make this story that much better. So that is in essence Into the Beyond. What's great about it? It followed a great formula. Everything was super, super clear. Characters, my problem with it is the characters none of them really seemed to stand out. None of them really had anything that said, hey, I am this character, I am great. Steph was the only one who had a feature that I recognized. Dr. Gray was kind of cool. He had like a Doctor Who feel to him. Like he wore like a little fancy patchwork suit. I thought that was nice. Other than that, nothing was really, I wasn't really too invested in a character. If one of them would have died, I'd been like, sad. All right, so what's happening next? Jerry was really my favorite character throughout the whole thing. He just seemed like a really stand-up kind of guy. Liked to eat. Apparently liked to die at least once, but they saved him, so that was great. Anything else I want to cover? No, I think I just really want to say this was a solid read. It went real smooth. It had a nice combination of detail versus just action, and I always gravitate to just more happening, and I like having the ability to kind of make the decisions of what I want it to look like in my mind. So I thought it was a really good combination. Everything just felt real smooth, and by the time I got done reading, I was like, okay, that was nice. And that is a wrap for Into the Beyond. If you like this kind of stuff, consider subscribing. If you'd like to have your story reviewed, hit me up on Discord. Information is in the description below. Peace.